Why hello there, my name is Jakejames Lugo and welcome to the channel where you'll find some of the most fair and honest game reviews out here.
Hello there.
So today we're talking about Star Wars Jedi Power Battles for the PlayStation. This is something that a lot of people within the Star Wars fandom have asked me to review at some point. And I'm more than happy to oblige. I want to try to get to as many games as I can. But I may have immediately regretted that once I started playing it. The late 90s and early 2000s were a great time for Star Wars games. We saw a lot of classics that changed how we view a galaxy far, far away. But at the same time, we had a ton of duds too. There was a lot of garbage, even by standards back then. Which brings me over to Star Wars Jedi Power Battles for the PlayStation 1. I know there was a better version of the game on the Sega Dreamcast, and another version on the Game Boy Advance, but for now, I'm only focusing on the game for PS1. Jedi Power Battles is basically a remixed version of the Phantom Menace game that we got in 1999, with improved controls and other gameplay tweaks. Whether that's saying much or not, we'll get to later. The story is basically the same as the movie, but with little to no cutscenes. Unless you watch the film, you're not getting much here. But to be fair, the Jedi combat is the main focus. But is that honestly enough to make a competent and fun Star Wars game for everyone? So a couple things to note here, but trust me, we're gonna get to the real bad stuff in just a bit. But I wanted to mention that because this game came out around the release of the Phantom Menace, there's a lot of things that we got clarification later on with Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith that we don't necessarily have here. So we have a couple things that aren't necessarily canon accurate. What I mean is that while we do have characters like Mace Windu, Plo Koon, and a few other Jedi in here that we can play as, which is awesome, but Mace Windu, for example, doesn't have a purple lightsaber. He actually has a blue lightsaber in this game, which for a lot of people back then, we didn't know that Mace Windu was going to have a purple lightsaber. So little things like that, I can forgive. However, there are some other weird decisions here where we got Plo Koon wielding like a yellow or a gold lightsaber. And we also have a Jedi in here that, for whatever reason, has a red lightsaber. What is it, like the Sith secretly went into the Jedi Order and just lingered there for years?
A surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
Notwithstanding, but you understand what I'm saying, right? It's just that there's little things like that where I think the developers of the game, whether it was LucasArts themselves or a couple other people that worked over there on this game, didn't really necessarily pay attention to things like this, which are a big part of the Star Wars franchise. Again, this was around the time of the Phantom Menace, so a lot of things weren't necessarily figured out completely, but looking back at it now, it is kind of funny. So with all of that out of the way, finally, let's get to the garbage. Let's get to the crazy stuff, and the reason why I almost instantly regretted playing this game. So I've been told many times that Jedi Power Battles is a classic. People have a ton of nostalgia for this on the PlayStation 1. But I'm here to tell you that your thoughts betray you. What you thought was a classic is nothing but a mess of epic proportions.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Jedi Power Battles is a clunky and bugged game that is poorly designed. While I love controlling different Jedi characters, the general controls are straight up trash. It ruins everything for me because the movement feels so restrictive and non-responsive at times. Fighting groups of droids could be a pain when I'm barely hitting them up close or unable to react to incoming attacks. This gets super annoying. The camera itself is also a huge problem because of how awkward the perspective can be when you're moving around a level, especially when jumping across platforms. Mind you, this is on top of some very poor hit detection for enemy attacks and glitchy behavior. Did I also mention there's some really terrible checkpoints every time you lose a life? Yeah, that's a thing too. All of these problems bundled together make up for one of the worst experiences I've had on the original PlayStation, and that's rough.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them!
But that's not all that's bad here. For some reason, you can't switch characters in between stages. You actually need to finish every stage with every character individually in order to switch between them for various stages. This means that if you play through the game with one character, you still need to replay all the older stages with another one. That is flat out dumb to me. I get that they want you to play this game like an arcade game, especially in co-op, but come on now. Running through all 10 stages can take a long time, and it gets super repetitive and frustrating dealing with all the issues that I've mentioned multiple times. On top of that, the rewards you unlock are definitely not worth the effort. There are some extra characters and bonus challenges to unlock, but only if you finish the game with specific characters in Jedi mode. But by then, you're practically done with everything in the game, so there's no point to it. This is the same way that I felt when I played Masters of Terrascasi on PlayStation 1, where you need to accomplish crazy things in order to open up features within the game. The effort never matches the reward, and I hated that. In Jedi Power Battles, it's just as bad. I would have definitely made a few changes in here to make everything significantly more bearable.
I don't believe that. And you're sounding like a separatist.
So the big thing I should say here is that I didn't finish this game. I didn't go through all 10 stages that are in Jedi Power Battles, mainly because of all the big issues and problems that I've mentioned up till now. Most of you out there know that I try to finish all the games that I review on this channel. I feel like when you're doing a review for a game, you have to give it due diligence enough to at least try to finish it in a reasonable amount of time and in a reasonable way. However, there are those rare instances where either a game is just that poorly designed or there are other issues that come up where you're not able to or have no desire to finish this game. And that's the case here with Jedi Power Battles. Things I feel like are so frustrating and so banged up and so archaic that I had no desire to get to the end. And on top of that too, which is really crazy, is that the game has co-op, which you could play with another player through all 10 stages. But even then, with another player, there's not much that's going to change here. It's not really going to correct or address many of the problems that I brought up. And that's a shame because action games like this are meant to be played with another person, not just alone. There's a lot more of a fun factor that you could get when you have another player joining you. But with this game, just between the controls, which is really my biggest issue here, and all the other bugs and glitches, everything just ends up being a real big mess. Search your feelings, people. You know what I'm saying to be true. Can I recommend you play Star Wars Jedi Power Battles on the PlayStation? Absolutely not. This game is truly horrible. It has so many problems that hinder any enjoyment with it. I get that people have some fond memories of playing this back in the day, but that doesn't change how flawed Jedi Power Battles really is. These are definitely not the droids or the Jedi game that you're looking for. What more can I say? Those are my thoughts about Jedi Power Battles on the PlayStation, and it's not that good. It's actually kind of trash. Look, I totally get that myself and many of you out there watching have a lot of nostalgia for the games that we grew up playing back in the day, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, as we've gotten older, we've gotten more seasoning and more maturity, we've been able to play more games throughout the years and have a lot more compare and contrast between the different media that we consume. We just tolerated a lot more bad things as we were growing up because we weren't able to buy a lot of video games, whether it was because we had very little money to spend on them or our families weren't able to buy all the games that were released. And if you like Jedi Power Battles, that's totally fine. Again, just have at it, enjoy your games, have that nostalgia, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just here just to give my opinion about the games I play here on this channel to you and maybe offer a different perspective. If you still like it, then just go enjoy it. If not, and if you want the second opinion, there you go. But of course, like any other game that I review on this channel, that's just my opinion about Jedi Power Battles. Let me know your own thoughts about this game down below in the comment section. Tell me, are you a big fan of Star Wars games? Did you grow up playing Jedi Power Battles? What are some of the other Star Wars games that you enjoy playing? Or what are some other action games that are better than this one that you would highly recommend to people out there? Talk to me about that stuff down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching the video, everyone. I appreciate your support and I hope you enjoyed checking it out. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and don't forget to leave me a like on this video and post a comment down below too. It helps out the channel a ton. You could also join my Discord server via the link in the description box to come be part of the community we have there. Whether you agree or disagree with me, come chat about games with everybody in there. It's a lot of fun people that I know you'll get a kick out of. Hope to see you again soon. Peace out, and stay epic, everybody.